Good morning. It is October 16th, Thursday, October 16th, 2025. And I'm on the road, but still checking in on the daily. And I was up early. I'm in Denver, so I'm up early for New York time. I woke up, 4:30 in the morning because it's 6:30 on the East Coast. And I knew I would do that. But I was thinking this morning about what's on my mind. And I thought, you know what? I've got some thoughts. And so let's go ahead and make sure we get another episode out. So thank you so much for listening wherever you may be. I hope you're having a great day, morning, noon, or night. Let's see. First, the date today is kind of interesting. It is October 16th, and it's Noah Webster's birthday. So we'll talk about that for a quick second. Then I'll get into my 2-minute trip, and then I do have a theme for today. But Noah Webster was America's first lexicographer. Not a word I say very often. Born in October 16th of 1758. And we remember Webster as the author of the first American dictionary, but he was also the first authority to advocate American English. His American Spelling Book, published in 1783, was the first to Americanize the spelling of English words such as color and labor by dropping the U. I've always wondered that, and we have Webster to thank for that. He also espoused American pronunciation and usage. In a very real sense, Webster gave us the language that Americans think of as English. An estimated 60 million copies of Webster's Speller were sold during its first 100 years in print. In 1828, Webster's American Dictionary of the English Language was published with 12,000 more words and about 40,000 more definitions than any previous American dictionary. But fascinating. So if you ever wondered why American English dropped the U in words like color and labor, it goes back to Noah Webster. So I did not know that, and I found that a little bit interesting today. All right, it's time for our 2-minute trip around the world, and our random city picker today went back to Jamaica, but this time the town of Ocho Rios, which I think means 8 rivers, although according to what I read about it, there aren't actually 8 rivers. So I think we have some Europeans to blame for that at some point in history. But Ocho Rios, Jamaica. So let's take a look here about Ocho Rios. Whoa, here we go. It's a town in the parish of St. Anne on the north coast of Jamaica, more widely referred to as Ochi by locals, and it began as a sleepy fishing village, but it's seen explosive growth, this is according to Wikipedia, in recent decades to become a popular tourist destination featuring duty-free shopping, a cruise ship terminal, tourist attractions, and several beaches and acclaimed resorts. It's also got cargo ships for the exportation of sugar and limestone. And it has a really interesting history, like most places do. Obviously, tourism is very big. But, of course, the British and the Spaniards came through, and so there's a lot more to learn about it. I'll just leave it at that, but Ocho Rios. So let's see, what are they experiencing there? Well, right now it is 81 degrees Fahrenheit, but they're a very different temperature down there. They're getting mid 80s, so about 30 degrees Celsius, and crazy thunderstorms and lightning. So pretty tumultuous times are in the port if you're pulling into the big boat, but I don't know. I've never done a cruise, and I don't mean to denigrate any place that has cruise ships docking, but for me, I'm a little bit less interested in going places where cruise ships are docking, but it could just be me. I know people who love it. So tell me if I should think otherwise, please, in the comments. All right. So listen, I'm in Denver for over the next few days through the weekend, returning early next week. Absolutely gorgeous. The fall colors are out. Went on a walk last night. It was warm and just beautiful. And so it's the air, beautiful. Obviously, it's high elevation, so getting accustomed to that. I've got a bit of a stomach ache, and I'm not sure if it's the water or what, but I remember getting a stomach ache here before, so I think I might be adjusting to something. But what's on my mind is the phrase "one day at a time" and how that intersects with hope. And I've talked to a lot of people this year who are going through various very challenging times, where they're just feeling not hopeless, but challenging. I mean, business is upended, relationships ending, strain mentally over, what many people perceive as a demise of American democracy, which is no small thing for a lot of people who live in this country and who live out of this country. The things that are going on that are pretty objectively anti-democratic. It's scary for a lot of people, and I realize that's not everyone. And if that's not you, then okay. Might want to take a look at some other sources and see what's going on out there, because there's some pretty crazy stuff. But this is not a political show. This is about, how we get through each day, build better businesses, better relationships, and thrive no matter in whatever conditions are going on. And, I learned about, living one day at a time many years ago. And who hasn't heard the phrase, just it's one day at a time, one day at a time. But when I first heard it, I really didn't appreciate its meaning. I didn't appreciate how much of a practice living one day at a time really is. I thought it was kind of a throwaway line. Yeah, of course, it's one day at a time. But I wasn't living one day at a time. My head was in the future, always, or the past, but not on today, worrying about something that happened or worrying about something I want to have happen. And when I started the process of actually, okay, let's focus on today, it was kind of like meditating. I would do it and then I would forget about it. But many, many years later, these days, for the most part, I am living one day at a time. And what that means is that I try to put aside everything else other than today. It's not that I'm not thinking about goals and things like that, but I think about today. Look, what can I do? What do I have control over today? What am I excited about today? What could happen today? And I'd say there's two parts of it that I can think of this morning. And the first part of it is focusing on today relieves me of the pressure of doing more than I can do today. I can't solve all the big problems today. I can do this today, though. I can eat this way today. I can choose to have a business meeting in this manner today. I can make this change to the way I do a process, or I can research something today. I don't have to solve the whole thing, but I can do the research. I can start something today. I can stop doing something today, just for today. It's not overwhelming if I'm doing it just today. Now, if I string enough days together, it becomes, if it's a habit I'm trying to form, then that becomes a habit. But what that does is also root me in a healthy, not a fantastical, but a healthy form of hope. Because sometimes when you're not feeling very hopeful, when you can narrow it down to, well, I can do this today, I can talk to, I can reach out to someone, I can, whatever it is, if you're trying to change your diet, I'm going to eat more vegetables today. Okay, so you eat more vegetables than that day. You feel good. It gives you hope that you can keep it up because you did it today. Maybe you can do it tomorrow. But really living day by day, one day at a time, is, I find, my best source of hope through difficult times. And also, frankly, improves my ability to execute. Because my head isn't stuck in overthinking too far down the line. So if you're having trouble with something, maybe try, what can I do today? And whatever I can do today is a great thing. And tackle tomorrow. I think you might find a little bit of relief in whatever that is. All right, so listen, that's my experience, and that's what I've learned about it, and I hope it's helpful to somebody else. So with that, I want to wish you a very fantastic day, whether it's beginning or in the middle or in the end of the day. I hope it's gone well or is going well. We only have today, so make it our best. And I look forward to checking back with you again soon. Hopefully tomorrow morning. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to promise. But for today, we got it out. But in the meantime, be good to yourself and others. Thanks, as always, for listening. And we will check back again soon. Bye-bye for now.